Hi, this is Lauren Luttrell, and this is the next episode in the personal development series that I have been discussing. And today is going to be about the fourth place, which is humanity, or the fourth zone, which is humanity as a whole. And the reason why this is important is because in order to get over the free rider problem, different systems or different individuals, however you want to characterize it, need to work as a superorganism. And that is possible at this time because of the internet and how it connects people to people. And whenever you go from one tier to the next, so here we were at tier 7 and now I'm starting to talk about tier 6. There, in my experience, it has to do with a like a meditation revealance or a transcendent experience, and that just for me, for my journey, was about meditation and writing about the experiences I was experiencing during life and those revelations I came to during my meditation. So this is where, if you haven't done meditation, I would really recommend you do that, because, and meditation doesn't need to be sitting somewhere quietly without any thought. It can be facilitated by a hobby. I like to do beading, and there's a lot of things that, go through your mind when you're just rhythmically going through a beading pattern. I'm sure knitting has the same result. Maybe for more male perspective, it could be wood carving or hiking, whatever meditative. All meditation means to me is the opportunity to let go of the constant chatter that's running through your head about the present now and all that you have to do and all that has happened. And it allows you to focus in on something unrelated to an analysis regarding your living situation or where you're going from there. So again, my transcendence to spot 4, which I call humanity, was the result of a lot of meditation, but and that would, and meditation in the sense of listening to meditation music or guidance meditation just found on YouTube. It's nothing fancy. I'll tell you the visual that I had when I knew that there was a transcendence was humanity was, I mean, because again, I see in very visually, and I remember seeing humanity just withering away, and because I was practicing kindness, I picked it up, and it was so scared and afraid and alone that it was shivering in my arms. And humanity, it was almost a separate, non-physical entity that was there for me to nurture. And as I nurtured it, it grew stronger. And as it grew stronger, I grew stronger. And that's why I started my nonprofit called Humanity's Nation, because it was so alone. And humanity shouldn't be alone. And that's how I know that humanity needs to operate as a superorganism. And if we as humanity don't take that spot, then there are other consciousnesses that will, because we're not the only, humanity consciousness is not solely related to humanity. I know for a fact, like my cats have consciousness, and they've warned me about things like dangers in my house before, and consciousness does not stop at humanity, and connection is key for humanity, and we're able to do it at this time because of the internet and how we can connect with each other. And I wanted to go over some of the reframes that are needed, because so this is the reframe formula I've been able to come up with so far, and it talks about that motivations which impact perception based on beliefs which are inherited, experienced, and taught by institutions. Motivations are also impacted by thinking. Again, we are taught them through inheritance, institutions, and family. And the motivations versus the vices, again, inputting the perceptions and thinking as it impacts the vices. And once you kind of gauge the motivations and the vices of a person, that is a dependent factor on the wants and the needs of that person. What do they believe that they want? What do they believe they need? What do they perceive they need? What do they perceive they want? And those are independent variables forming effectiveness, because only effectiveness has an impact on the global consciousness, or the humanity as a superorganism. And that is made up of abilities. Again, what you perceive you're able to do, what you think you're able to do, versus impairments, what you're perceived to believe you can do, and what you're perceived impairments about the thinking that you've been taught and what you've been able to not do or do. And then if you weigh them all based on your prior experiences with appropriate weights, you are going to be able to predict another action. I mean, this is also kind of an empathy formula, but this is how you would reframe. You would take on another's motivations and other vices, understanding that their perception is based on beliefs by the self-inherited experience taught. So this is kind of a heavy formula, but if you don't know how to reframe, I would start with this one. And reframing is important, because that's what step 1 or tier 7 was supposed to be able to educate on. And in order to work as a superorganism, you will need to reframe into other perspectives. Otherwise, it won't be working efficiently. Thank you. Have a great day.